Hi, welcome to today's series where we're going to be using the spine corrector or Pilates Arc. And we've had some requests for this, and this happens to be Bear's favorite piece of apparatus in the whole studio. So we're going to get to it. And as you come in, you're going to take a seat onto the little groove position, and we're going to start with our legs stretched out. Nice and easy, a slow slide all the way down. Take your bottom hand, hold your top wrist, and give yourself a nice big side body stretch. So as you're being pulled toward the floor with your upper arm, feel like someone had a hold of your ankle and was pulling you in the opposite way. And then bringing yourself all the way back up again, you're going to take your hand towards the outstretched leg and stretch towards the foot. And then again, we'll just go down toward the floor, sliding your body over, enjoying the shape and the curve, and then holding onto your wrist and giving yourself a good stretch out. And then again, coming all the way up and leaning off to the opposite side. So we're working through the two sides of our body here. And if I throw in a little bit of Chinese medicine at you, we're looking at our gallbladder meridian, which is one of what we call a structural meridian, keeping us upright. We're going to be playing a lot with those meridians today, so I'll just keep entertaining you with them as we go along. From here, we're just going to bend our knee. And again, if it's not comfortable to do that, keep the leg outstretched. And we're going to go all the way down, but we're not going to do the full length over. So we'll keep our top arm free away from the bottom arm and then coming all the way up. And again, slide down and reach over and then sliding up to come tall. So the reason I've got the leg like this is sometimes it's a little more comfortable inside of the hip for some people. Plus, I'm starting to open up a little bit of movement through the front of the thigh, which we're going to need soon. So we're going to flip ourselves around and we're going to repeat it all again on that way. So straightening your outstretched leg off. As we come down, we're going to use that bottom hand again just to clasp over your wrist. Give yourself a pull in one way and then imaginary pull in the opposite way. And then again, bringing yourself all the way up. Hand to leg and stretch in the opposite way. So these muscles that are on the side of our body, and we can think of them even between the ribs, getting a nice stretch. A lot of them got to do with our breathing, of course, the ones in between the ribs. But you know, we've got a lot of muscles in our body, and most of them live on the sides of our body, not so much on the front in terms of the trunk I'm talking about. And just being gentle with your stretches. Sometimes it feels like you want to go further, but you don't want to cause yourself distress as you do these moves. So finding a range where you feel, oh, that's good, rather than, oh gosh, that's not really great. So then just tucking your foot back behind you and then going down and over. Don't hold the hand as you stretch over towards your head side and then peeling yourself all the way back up again. And again, lowering your body down and over. I think Bear likes this because I always get to tickle him as I come up and down. And then one more time as we take it all the way over and returning back upright. So from here, we're going to spin ourselves to face towards the front direction, and you're going to have your feet turned out to the side. This is not the easiest or the most elegant, but trust me, it's really good. As we twist around, you're going to aim your knee down onto the ground and the other knee, it won't get to the ground. Don't worry, that's not the point. And then come through the center and twist to the other way. So as we're doing this, we're going to keep our hands just placed onto the surface behind so that you've got a bit of support to do that. And just getting a little bit of mobility to happen through the hip joints. So again, the hips are relating to the meridian of the gallbladder. It runs all the way through down the side of the leg. So just getting a little bit more mobile and free in those areas. One more time as we twist towards the back and then coming back towards the forward position. So from here, we're going to have our feet resting on the floor, arms are outstretched, and we're just going to tilt our pelvis backward and just feel the arc support your lower back, and then roll yourself forward and back up into sitting. So as we're tilting backward, you'll feel the pelvis roll underneath you, the sit bones start to slide up the curve of the seat, and then back into your sitting shape. We'll do one more just like that, nice easy movement. So I'm not letting my spine unroll and go too far. I still want to feel that little curvature of my upper back, and then rolling towards the top. Now I'm going to take my body and put my sit bones more at the front of the seat and rest the back of the ribs onto the curve. There's a nice gap now between my back and my lower back and the arc. Take the hands behind your head for the first one as you just stretch your spine over. So really working through your upper back and then nodding the head forward, curling the spine tall. Now, if you're okay and you don't need neck support, then send those arms long and overhead. So really lengthening through the arms, not letting your shoulders get all caught up, and then rolling up, just looking past your legs towards the wall in front or whatever your vision is out. And then stretching over and then curling forward. So from here, we're going to add on to the movement. As you slide yourself away, you're going to lengthen the legs out and really get a full body length. And we did that on the side. Now we're doing it on the front of our body. So we've changed meridians. We're starting to open up the stomach meridian, which is along the front of our body. Again, another structural meridian that keeps our body upright. So the forward facing meridian. And then one more time, stretch it all the way out. And then this time, as you curl yourself up, you're going to bring your two knees into the air and hold on nice and deep. With your right arm and your right leg, we're going to press the arm and the leg away and then circle your arm around and collect your knee. Other side is going to reach and then circle and draw back in. We just do another 2 to each direction. So remember, this is an arm arc movement and a leg slide movement. So you don't want to have your leg going too low away from you. Otherwise, that puts a lot of pressure and stress through the muscles around the hip and the back. Last one, reach, and then drawing it all the way back in. Keep your knees there. Let's extend yourself all the way over. Nice big round stretch. And then curl the head and shoulders forward and aim your legs up and your arms down. And then bend your knees and stretch the spine back. And then nod the head forward, pushing the arms toward the floor and the legs towards the ceiling. This is our preparation teaser movement. And last one, so feel free to stay with this version as is. Otherwise, we're going to go over. You're going to lower your legs down, inch yourself back a little bit further towards the seated area. And then from there, we're going to nod the head and shoulders forward, pick the legs up, and we should be in a lovely balance of teaser here. And then extending the legs towards the floor, reaching the arms overhead. Nod the head and shoulders forward, peel the spine away from the arc underneath you, raising the legs, and then stretch it all over and back. One more time as we strengthen through the front part of our body, lifting the legs up, and then going all the way back and over again. From here, we're going to bring ourselves up, nod the head forward, and roll yourself back to your starting position. So from here, I'm going to ask Bear to move out of the way, beep, beep, and we're going to change the direction. Now, if you don't have a wall, you can do this, but your arc will slide a little bit. So it's easier if you can have something to prop it up again so that it doesn't do that movement. We're going to take a lie down onto our backs, bringing your bottom fairly close towards the arc. And the reason for that is we're going to go into a bridge. And as we bridge, you don't want to be too far away from your feet, otherwise that's going to produce cramping. So now we're going to be working on the back line of our body, or our bladder meridian. So when you're ready, we're going to go into the roll of the bridge, up into the air, and then coming back down. So even though they will be lengthening through the front side of your body, that stomach meridian, our emphasis is on the strengthening and the mobility of our back body. So where you take your attention is where the energy will flow. Last one, as we peel the spine just beautifully up and down. So we're going to add on to our movement. So the move is still the spine rolling toward the top. And then from there, we're going to lengthen our arms back overhead. Keep your hands just off the ground. And then roll the spine down to the mat surface. And then bring the arms down again. And again, hips roll away, aiming your knees out towards the wall. And then over the arms go. And then curling down again. So also just being mindful as you're coming up that you don't feel like you are swallowing and suffocating, but that you're reaching out through those legs, creating a nice long ski slope sort of feel, and then lowering the body down again. So for this next one, we're going to keep our arms down on the floor. We're going to raise the pelvis back up into the air. From here, you're going to bring your right leg into tabletop. Now you can keep with it here and just do toe taps down, but the movement I'm going to create is a straight line. So we're going to flex our foot and lower the thigh down and then point and lift it up. Now, as I lower the leg, I'm not going to let it go too much lower than the opposite thigh because I don't want my pelvis to drop. And the minute I do that, it's going to create a tilt in the hips. So I'm going to make sure that it stays nice and balanced. This is number 3. We're doing 5 in a row, 4, and then last one like that, 5. Keep the leg up above you. Make a small circle for 5, 2, 3, 4. 5, and then we'll go in the opposite way. So however straight your leg can be. So when we draw on the ceiling, maybe we're drawing with our big toe, and then flex your foot, and you're going to stomp up onto the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bend that knee, place your foot to the ground, and roll the body down. All right, take another breath, and then breathing out, we've got to do it all again on the opposite leg. So there's always a good thing about the second side. Bringing the leg up is you know where you're about to go. So we're going to go down into a flexed foot to lower, and then a pointed toe to lift. So why do we do flexing and pointing? Well, that's what our foot is able to do, and it happens through our walking cycle, every single step we take. And then one more time, down and up. And then from there, we're going to do our 5 circles each way. So when you're drawing the circle on the ceiling with your toe, can you imagine drawing it from your hip joint, which is closer to your pelvis? Switch sides and notice which vision or which image works best for you, drawing with your toe or drawing from your hip joint. When you've done your 5, then flex that foot and stomp up. So we've got the right leg now pushing through the foot into the pelvis. 4, 5, and then lowering the foot. Smooth control. Come down gracefully, easily, smoothly. Don't rush and plop down towards the ground. All right, from here we're going to straighten those legs out, and we're going to come back into another favorite teaser motion. So the arms are going to travel all the way over behind. Nod the head and shoulders forward, curling yourself up into your sitting position, and then slide your legs off the arc. So from here, we're just going to widen the legs to a comfortable position so that you've got your hands just resting on the top. We're going to slide the arms forward, creating a nice curve in our upper spine, and then bringing yourself back upright again. And again, we're going to go forward and have a good stretch in the upper back and coming to an upright position. We'll do that one more time, and then I promise we're going to take it into a deeper stretch. But for now, just working in that upper back alignment. Now, if you've got range to go a little further, as you send yourself forward, maybe reach towards the seated groove. Perhaps your head could be on the top or not, and then bringing your spine back up. We're going to do that one more time as we go forward, folding from the upper body, then going lower from the pelvis, stretching out, and bringing yourself all the way back up to tall. If your hair needs readjusting, now's a great time to do that as we're about to finish off with our final stretch. So we're going to come and take a seat on the top of the arc. And from here, we're going to start with your left knee folded and your right leg stretched out. So sitting just sort of midpoint, we're going to go backward onto your forearms and give yourself a bit of an opening through the chest, but really the stretch is going to start to come down the front side of your leg. The other leg, the right leg, staying straightened out. Now, if you're comfortable in that position, then I'm going to ask you to come down a little lower. So can you sit with your knee folded back and come down onto your forearms? If the answer is yes, and you can still keep going, then we're going to mold our back over the arc and stretch our arms away from us. The only trouble with having the arc against the wall is that you are limited by where your arms can get to, and that's okay. You can touch the wall. That's pretty cool. Taking a deep breath in and out, and then we're going to bring you all the way back up to sitting tall. We're going to switch our legs over. So my suggestion is that we come up a little bit again just to test the waters, because you can never really be the same on both sides. So we want to honor this because this is an intense front of leg stretch. So again, just doing a little recline, and if you feel quite confident and you can go further, then slide yourself down. And again, draping your body over the arc surface, making sure you don't feel like your body is being pulled up away from the floor. I find it very difficult to do the stretch and not actually have my eyes open. So they're always closed when I do this because I really enjoy the stretch. And then releasing from there. Now it's entirely up to you, but we're going to repeat it this time with both knees folded. So it may not get to the same position for you, and that's quite fine. So just again, do what you can do. So both knees are bent. We start in that halfway position. Begin with the elbows back. And like I said, this might be enough for a lot of you, feeling tightness through the front of the leg. So if your knee is hurting, if your hip is hurting, or your lower back are hurting, or even your ankles, these are all messages from your body. Again, if you're finding that was okay, then we're going to come down to sit closer towards the ground surface, and then we're going to end with both arms behind us. Really enjoying the stretch. The knee is an amazing joint in our body. It's got such incredible flexibility. It's got delicious strength. And we're just giving it some good nourishment in this place right now. Again, we've opened up into our stomach meridian. And then coming all the way up from there. All right, well, that's it from us today. I hope you enjoyed those energizing poses of the three meridians we spoke through, the gallbladder being on the side, the stomach on the front, and the bladder on the back. I hope you've had an arc and got to enjoy that. And remember, if you ever are looking for inspiration or wanting to do it on other pieces of apparatus, feel free to just comment below and I'll create one for you. Have a beautiful day. Bye.